Mark Lawrence wrote, "Memory is all we are. Take a man's memories, and you take all of him." Protecting your memory is one of the most important things you'll ever do. Here, I'll finish the last letter of the Bright Minds risk factors and give you powerful tools to improve your memory and mood. The S in Bright Minds is for sleep. It is estimated that 60 million Americans have sleep-related issues. Chronic insomnia, sleeping pills, and sleep apnea significantly increase the risk of memory problems. Here is a scan of someone with sleep apnea. We often see low activity in areas that die early in Alzheimer's. If you snore and stop breathing at night, or someone tells you that you do, get assessed. When you sleep, your brain cleans or washes itself. If sleep is disrupted, trash builds up in your brain, which damages your memory. Getting less than 7 hours of sleep at night is associated with weight issues, hypertension, accidents, and trouble in your marriage, because you are more likely to say something you wish you hadn't. You can improve your memory tomorrow by improving your sleep tonight. Do this by avoiding caffeine, a warm room, light and noise, especially from your gadgets, and alcohol. Yes, it will put you to sleep, but when it wears off, your brain will rebound and wake you up a few hours later. To sleep better, make your room cooler, darker, and quieter. Turn off your gadgets so they don't disturb you. Listening to music with a specific rhythm can help, as can hypnosis. We have a powerful program to help you retrain your brain to sleep. Magnesium and melatonin are often very effective, as is 5-HTP if you're a worrier. If you have bad thoughts that keep you awake, journaling helps to get them out of your head. There you have it. All 11 Bright Minds risk factors. To review these, help me out. What does B stand for?
Blood flow.
Low blood flow is the #1 brain imaging predictor of Alzheimer's. Exercise helps to boost blood flow to your brain. R.
Retirement aging.
When you stop learning, your brain starts dying. Make new learning part of every day. I.
Inflammation.
Which destroys your organs. Boost omega-3 fatty acids. G.
Genetics.
If you have a family member with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia, it's not a death sentence, but should be a wake-up call to get serious. H. Protect your brain. T.
Toxins.
Even in personal products, limit your exposure. M.
Mental health issues.
Get them treated to keep your memory strong. I.
Immunity infection.
Which can ravage your brain. Know and optimize your vitamin D level. N.
Neurohormone deficiency.
Which can shrivel your hippocampus. Work with your doctor to measure and optimize your hormones. D.
Diabetes.
A combination of diabetes and obesity. Both steal your mind. It's critical to get your food right. And S.
Sleep issues.
Focus on getting at least 7 hours a night. Let me show you how this works in real life. Meet Ray and Nancy. Ray was a linebacker for the San Diego Chargers. The reason he joined our football study was so that I would see his wife, Nancy, who had just been diagnosed with dementia. She was only 56, and her doctor told Ray he should find a place for her to live because within a year, she would not know his name. Ray was very upset and asked me, "Is that true?" Nancy's scan showed severe decreased activity in the front part of her brain, consistent with a dementia process. I looked at Ray and said, "We have no proven cure for this. But if she was my wife, and I like my wife, I would do all of the Bright Mind strategies, including exercise, a complete dietary change, no alcohol, targeted supplements, new learning, and more." 10 weeks later, this was her brain. she was remarkably better. I'm under no illusion that we're not in a war for the health of her brain. But there is so much hope, even if you've been diagnosed with memory problems, that you can be better if you do all of the right things. My favorite picture is actually not the scans. This is Ray 10 weeks later. He lost 30 pounds. When I asked him how he did it, he said, I knew if I did everything you told us, she would too. I would model a brain-healthy life. Sometimes motivation is about love. Ray, love Nancy. Another one of my favorite stories about someone who had major health problems but went on to become one of the world's foremost memory experts is Jim Carroll. Early in his life, he struggled in school, was painfully shy, and bullied. He worked at a steel mill, and in his words, I was just an average guy. At 49, he was diagnosed with a serious heart condition. Remember, what's bad for your heart is bad for your brain. While rehabbing on his stationary bike, instead of just watching television, he started to exercise his mind by making flashcards. He memorized all 50 states and their capitals, all the Oscar winners, the Scrabble dictionary, and then more than 80,000 zip codes. After just a few months, his energy and mental abilities soared. Jim's secret was that he learned new information while he exercised. At 64, Jim travels around the world with the USO, helping soldiers with PTSD and brain trauma. Jim and I know that you can make your brain better, but you have to work it, just like you have to work your muscles. In the program materials, we have a powerful new memory training course for you. For now, here are 3 tools to immediately boost your memory and mood. The first tool we use at Amen Clinics is targeted nutraceuticals. In the program materials, I give very specific supplement strategies for each of the Bright Minds risk factors that have solid scientific evidence, such as Ginko to support blood flow, omega-3 fatty acids for inflammation, N-acetylcysteine for detoxification, saffron to support your mood, and probiotics to support immunity. Our research team published a double-blind study showing how nutraceuticals alone can improve blood flow to the brain, memory, and mood in just 2 months. The second tool is using specialized music to boost your memory. Stevie Wonder once said, music at its speed and memory, just 12 minutes a day. Music is so powerful that Grammy Award-winning producer Barry Goldstein and I created music designed to improve your memory, mood, focus, and sleep. The album is included in the program materials. The last tool is an exercise I call Feel Great Anytime, Anywhere. It involves anchoring your happiest memories to specific places you already know, such as rooms or objects in your home. This exercise is so powerful because where you bring your attention determines how you feel. Unfortunately, many people focus on their worries and fears, which makes them feel awful. Negative thoughts trigger chemicals in your brain that make you feel anxious and depressed, while positive thoughts release ones that help you feel great. Here's the exercise. Write down 10 to 20 of the best memories of your life, and then anchor them to specific places in your home using all of your senses. Then, whenever you feel upset, imagine walking through your home, reliving your happiest memories. With a little practice, you can train your brain to feel great almost in an instant. Start by writing down 5 of your best memories. Let me show you how I do it. In my mind, I start at my front door, carrying Tana across the threshold. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. 2, in the living room, I see my friend and collaborator, Dr. Cyrus Raji, giving me a framed copy of our research that was listed as one of the top 100 stories in science by Discover magazine. Number 3, in the kitchen, which smells amazing, my mom is making dinner and wants to hear all about my day. She's always been like that, and I know how blessed I am to still have her. Number 4, at the stove, I see myself as a child standing on a stool next to my grandfather, and together we are making fudge. He was a professional candy maker and my best friend when I was growing up. But now we're making a sugar-free version so I can keep him around longer. And 5, upstairs I see my daughter Chloe, when she was young, wearing her zebra hoodie, sitting on my shoulder, telling me she loves me. What happy memories do you want to anchor? With a little practice, this exercise can help you feel amazing anytime, anywhere. People who do it tell me they love it, especially when they share their memories. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned from our brain spectrum imaging work is that it's never too early or too late to change your brain. Meet Shannon and her daughter Grace. Grace was born with an extremely rare disorder that caused seizures and blindness. Grace went into the hospital when she was 3 months old and didn't leave until she was 3 years old. She was on 42 medications and needed a feeding tube to stay alive. When Grace's insurance ran out, the hospital wanted to take her off life support. Having none of it, Shannon took Grace out of the hospital and drove her to another state to try hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which we talked about earlier. Shannon had heard from other parents that it helped some children with disabilities. Before Grace started hyperbarics, she had a SPECT scan, which showed severely decreased blood flow, especially in the vision centers in the back of her brain. The doctor who did the scan also gave Grace no hope, but Shannon persisted. After a few sessions, Shannon noticed that Grace was not looking through her anymore, but was looking at her. Over time, Shannon noticed a steady improvement, not just with the hyperbarics, but also by addressing all the risk factors that were stealing Grace's health. Her follow-up SPECT scan, just months later, showed remarkable improvement. Over the next 15 years, Grace has continued to make incredible progress. And this year, she went to the prom and graduated from high school. Grace is an amazing example of a mother's love who rescued her from death to a life worth living. And isn't that what we all want? A life worth living, filled with happiness, connection, and hope. But most importantly, a life you can remember where your mind is sharp and you control your destiny. I want you to imagine where you'll be next year at this time. The future is coming, and faster as we age. How healthy will your brain be a year from now, 5 years from now, heck, 20 or 30 years from now, if you don't make any changes? To know the answer, all you need to look at are your bright mind's risk factors in your daily habits. Are your behaviors helping you or hurting you? Do you need to make a change today? Do you know anyone whose memory is getting worse? Or someone with Alzheimer's? I do, and it's one of the saddest and most heart-wrenching things to watch. Of course, it's not always possible to avoid memory problems, but I'm going to do everything I can to avoid them, and it's my mission to help you and your loved ones do the same. You can be like David, who went back to doing what he loved, leading Bible studies. Or Shailene, who improved her relationships and work while she decreased her future risk. Anthony, whose brain was better 10 years later. Mercedes, whose healing inspires others. Dave, who founded an incredibly successful company after years of toxic exposure. Joan, who enjoys her granddaughter's recitals, Mark, who cut his insulin dose in half and lost 53 pounds. Nancy, who defied the odds. Jim, who became a world-class memory expert after 50. And Grace, who is a living miracle. Before it's too late, I challenge you to do whatever you can do to protect your brain and improve your memory. I promise it'll make a big difference. Don't let what you learned today go to waste. Don't let this be the end. Make it the beginning. Based on our work over 30 years, it's clear to me that you are not stuck with the brain you have. You can make it better. Your brain's history is not your destiny. May God bless you. I'm Dr. Daniel.
I hope you have been inspired by Memory Rescue. I hope that you have learned something, and I hope that you're going to go to the phone or go online, because this is our last opportunity. Hello, I'm Babette Davidson with Dr. Daniel Amen, award-winning neuroscientist, New York Times said America's favorite psychiatrist, and I know why. Because this information and your passion about what you do is so inspirational. Now, you inspired me with Grace's story. Grace's mom inspired me with her actions, and you said something at that. You said, you want to have a life worth living and a life worth remembering. That was very powerful.
So powerful, because if you can't remember things, then it's everything in your life is harder. Plus, the most precious moments you have, you want to keep them. I mean, that is just so important. And as we age, a lot of people complain about memory problems, and they think it's normal. It's common, but it's not normal. And it's a sign that your brain is deteriorating, and it doesn't have to. And I don't know if you're like me. I love my 4 children. I mean, I love them, but I never really want to have to live with them. I don't want them taking my driver's license from me. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. And if that's true, you need to take the right steps now to keep your brain healthy for as long as possible.
Well, you know, I have spent, as we all have, a lifetime making these memories. They are who I am. And the thought of losing them is just, I just can't even imagine my life without my mind, without my memories. So I am so hopeful, because I can worry about things, but worry doesn't get me very far.
Unless it causes you to action. So I want you to have some anxiety about your memory, and we talked about it. If you have any of the Bright Minds risk factors, I want you to have some anxiety, and I want you to go do something rather than just be upset about it. And we've given you the next step, if you will. If you call in and support this station, we'll say thank you by giving you a whole suite of tools you can use to optimize your mind and even rescue your memory if you think it's headed for trouble.
Now, you have spent, this is 35 years of experience, it's research, you've been so passionate about putting this together. Walk us through the tools and how they're going to help us, whether it's with our memory, with keys, or because someone in our family has Alzheimer's, or we just want to optimize our brains.
So the important thing is to get started. And you can start by reading my new book, Memory Rescue. It's brand new. It goes through each of these Bright Minds risk factors in detail. But in addition, there's a whole chapter on food to improve your brain. And there's a great table. These are the foods to choose. These are the foods to lose for each of the 11 Bright Minds risk factors. But a lot of people, they look at the book and they go, oh, that seems like a lot of work. And I don't know if you're like me, but when I was in school, I mean, I would read the book. I wanted the Cliff Notes. It's like, tell me what I have to know. So I developed really the Cliff Notes for Memory Rescue, questionnaires, workbooks. You know your specific risk factors for memory loss, and give it to me in a table. what are the things I should do, what are the things I should avoid, the foods, the supplements, the lab tests that you might need. So this is a critical resource for you. And then my beautiful wife, Tana, who I adore, and Chef Honor Harvey, who's the Amen Clinic chef, they put together this beautiful 2-hour DVD on cooking for bright minds. So Bright Minds is a mnemonic. You want to avoid these 11 risk factors. This actually shows you how to cook to boost blood flow, to decrease aging, to decrease inflammation, to help with genetic risk factors. And then, because I love music, and public television is just famous for their music shows, but did you know you can use music to enhance your mind? And so we made this brand new album, Bright Minds Memory Rescue CD, that is made with a special sound machine that actually produces sound waves at the same frequency as a brain that's focused, as a brain that's learning, as a brain that's relaxed, as a brain that's asleep. There's so many great tools for you. My advanced brain health library that has shows that you can watch over and over again. And we hadn't said before is these 6 shows also have an extra hour of bonus material. So there's 12 hours total where we answer over 100 questions that people have. So this is something that's a resource you can give away to your family and friends. You can watch over and over again. And then on top of this, you get our online and mobile program where you can take brain health anywhere. Test your brain, work your brain, fun games. And I know that there are brain game companies and programs, but that's not this. What this is, and we say we're not just playing games with your brain. These are directed to optimize your memory and your mind.
Well, it's all about optimizing. That's what we've been doing. We're so excited. We'll be talking to Dr. Amen throughout the rest of this break. But right now we want to tell you a little bit more about the resources that Dr. Amen has put together for you as a supporter of public television.
In the Memory Rescue Master Package,